Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's week 136 on Body Bags and Bourgie86 back again. Now, the film I got for you guys today is a film from 2006. It's a film from Japan. It's from a well notable director, one that I always admire of the few films I've seen of his. And it's the director's name is Shina Tascamato. Of course, he directed most notably Tessio the Iron Man and the rest of the Tessio films, and A Snake of June, Vital, which is one I haven't seen yet, but I heard interesting things about it. And this one piqued my interest. It was actually released off the Dimension Extreme line here in the States, and it goes by the title of Nightmare Detective. Look at that cover art. All right, how this film starts out, it's kind of a complex story. I'll try not to spoil too much that I can without giving too much away in the film. And with that being said, let's get into it. We're first introduced to our main character, who's like this detective. It's her first day on the job, and the first case is like this apparent suicide. And what ends up happening is another suicide occurs, and they find a link between these suicides that are happening, and that the victims were the last person they called on their cell phones was this mysterious number only titled O. And what happens is one of the victims, the wife, was the witness of it and said it looked like he was having some terrible nightmare. So they decide that maybe there's some kind of like paranormal thing going on with these killings. And what ends up happening is she ends up being part of that paranormal side of the investigation. So she ends up trying to get a like someone to, what's the word I'm looking for? Someone who has experience in that field. So they end up going to this guy's house, who's notably known for being able to go into people's dreams and stopping them from having nightmares. When we first meet this guy, he's kind of not the friendliest of people. He actually not really well into his gift. He doesn't want it, and you can see that in the way this character is portrayed. And what ends up happening is he ends up at the end helping them and stopping this killer before these killings happen all over the place. That's pretty much the main plot of the film without going too into it. It's kind of a complex story if you could think about it. Now, my thoughts on this film. If you don't know anything about Toscamato's films, he has a very unique style of filmmaking and stuff. And this is probably his most straightforward film of the ones I've seen, because there's a lot of like hidden messages and imagery that go into like A Snake of June, which is a film, in Tessio, which are very like Lynchian like type films. There's a little Lynchian in this, especially in like the dream sequences, which are very unique and cool looking and have some great photography in the film. Now the acting is really really good in this film. The chick who plays the detective, Kiko, I believe that's her first name. I can't really pronounce her last name. Is played by this. I believe she's like a Japanese pop singer, Hitomo. Don't hold me to that if that's her profession, but she's really good because she has like these different like facial expressions in the film, and you could really see like her change of character as the film progresses and stuff. And I can't think of the actor who plays the nightmare detective off the top of my head, uh, but he does a really good job because he comes off like this quiet, like lost soul type with a lot of like stuff on his shoulders, which his character is supposed to be portrayed. Now, there's other cops in this film. The two other detectives are played by what's his name? Masanobu Ando, who I actually know because he was in Battle Royale. He was most notable his that crazy, like, one of the guys who goes into the game that wants to have fun and kill these kids and stuff. He's the one of the main ones in that film, and Ren Osagi's in this film also, who I'm most notably known from playing in a ton of Takashi Miike gangster films like Full Yakuza, Metal Yakuza, and he also was in Hair Extensions, the Sanye Sono film. And his character is very quirky and unique because he's kind of like the comic relief of the film. And he's really good in this because he butts heads with the main female detective. Now, the imagery and stuff is great. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is Shina Toshikomato actually plays the killer of the film, which, if you know, he's actually a really great actor in my opinion. He does some great performances, especially in his film and other people's films, of the ones I've seen of him playing in them. Now, the imagery is all good and stuff, but at the end of the day, with the straightforwardness of the story, it has some slow moments to it. It's kind of slow moving. The film runs almost hour and 45 minutes, and I think it could have been cut down, to be honest. It has a lot of good things to it, though, with the music and stuff, but there's a lot of, like, overdrawn scenes, in my opinion. It's the only letdown of this film to me. With the ending is actually really good. Now, I know there's actually a sequel to this film, which I haven't seen it because I don't think it has a Region 1 release here. I know there's a German release of the sequel, which I don't know if, because some German releases don't have English subtitles on them for some weird reason, especially when they're foreign films. So that's why I never went out the way to grab that. But I'm interested. I hope the sequel does get released in Region 1 someday, because I really did enjoy this film. If I had to rate Nightmare Detective, I'm going to give it like a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's probably one of the, not the Toscamato's best works, but it's still really good, and it has a lot of good stuff with the imagery and the music that keeps it interesting and fresh with the investigation parts. So 7.5 out of 10 for Nightmare Detective. Check it out. Alright guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe to Body Bags, and to me, I'll leave my link below. And I hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next week. Peace out.